So it's the end of the day. Wednesday's starting tonight. In about less than 20 minutes, it's going to be Wednesday. And I'm in the dollar yen here. So I'm looking at what do we got, 4-hour chart here? I'm looking at all the trades I missed. I'm kind of heartbroken now that I look at this chart. So given the 20 pip grid that I got on there, somebody's asked me a question about, this is the infamous question. And as far as scaling into these grids, in this, I would call this slight, a linear martingale, if there's such a thing. We're just going to get in a 1, 2, 3, 4K. But I'm not going to get in a 4K on one ticket. Okay. That's the secret sauce, is that in a truly diverse entry where you don't have any exact entry point, it's a 20 pip window. So on this chart here, you're going to, you look to the side here and you say, okay, well, what's the next trade? I'm going to do the trade right now since the market's open. So this is better than the strategy tester, but I put $1,000 clean in this account. So we have $1,000. We can do the math in these trades. So if I pick this area, say I just want to get in here because I think that this shelf is a high probability reversal window. Anything below that fractal, I'm going to consider. I got to put a sell limit up here for the reversal. And definitely got to load the wagon on this window. So I come over to my scripts and I grab I want to build a 3K in a window. So I find the window and I don't want to repeat any entries. So I'm going to just have the entries marked only. They're coming in blue. All the entry prices will be blue. So I'm choosing this window. Of course, the problem is it goes on forever. Like I could say, well, who's not selling up here? Like if you're long and they get up in this shelf between these two fractals, it's simply the market profile of the void. You're looking back into the market here. If you could turn the chart sideways and look into it, so you actually be able to, a 3D chart, you're looking in this way. This is market profile supposed to. The only problem with market profile, it's just too complicated. What they're doing there is picking each day. Well, look at today, ABC. I'm not really into ABCs, and actually when I saw that, and then they wanted me to spend $30 a month for the Stottlemyre market profile. Get the fuck out of here with that stuff. And then I heard, when I heard ICT in his video, it's fucking Olympic sport to watch that shit. I can't watch it all, but he said, "Oh, Williams Fractal, I like the guy, but man, it's stupid." It's just giving you a really quick and dirty way to know, oh, geez, maybe I should buy below this fractal here. That'd be a good idea. And I'll sell above here, but it never makes it above there. So this guy's asking a question about, so let's just make sure that we're talking about the same thing. And let's just say we're putting in all 1Ks in arrays that don't repeat. So it looks like this. I'm going to be the most conservative trader. So I wrote a lot of these scalps. I have to get these all together one day. But this is my greatest hits of scalps on an 8-hour basis. So these are going to be pending. Kind of like little bear traps, And I'm going to put in some bad ratios, by the way, because I want to get the fuck out of this trade. Now, these trades make money, even though you'll say, well, you're risking $4 to make $2. How's that work? Well, it's called cash flow, and it's also, if you own a business, you got to turn shit over, dude. It's on sale for a reason. So I put my shit on sale. I'm my own market maker, basically. I'm saying I'm going to take this trade off, but I'm showing you. If this was a 15-minute, if this was a 2-hour ticket, I'd be like, okay, let's sell right there. Let's just start selling here. It's actually, it's not just as linear on here, Lin, but actually it's slightly logarithmic. So this even has a little bit of a boot on it. You know, this has a little bit of a, I wouldn't say Fibonacci, but you could write that into that. So think about it. This is how I trade. Because I'm not going to be able to pick the right price. I just know I can't do it. I've admitted, like there was a point in time when I would say something like, of course, we all know this classic, right? Here's a top, become a bottom right here and close. Oh, but it overshot the runway. Like, oh, you mean the top off the wick or the top off the... Now, this is the 1-hour chart. What I don't understand about ICT is, if he really believes that support, or anybody that thinks this works, and if you look real close, you can see the stop hunt. Yeah, I know, it's like a secret. I don't even like to talk about this stuff because they see me in the restaurants and they kind of want to come over. Are you that guy? Yeah. Now, if you get in hairy ass here, you could put a tight stop, but I don't recommend it. I recommend putting in about 50K here on 1Ks. Just stack them up. I know, it's a lot of work. Drag them over. Just write these, put in the 6Ks. I trade with 6Ks. And just lace this puppy up. Then, inside there, you have a good ratio, a bad ratio, a great ratio, a kind of okay break-even-ish. I try to make the dollar amount appropriate, but I don't think it is. This is my new favorite, 18 to make 10. Now, you'd say, well, that's not a bad ratio. But, dude, it's so high probability. Come on. If it comes below here and it just smacks down here, another thing that I've done that's just, dare I say, genius is that I said, 8 hours. I could put an 8-hour ticket down here and go, yeah, I think I can go to sleep. This is the 1-hour chart. Do you think in 8 hours? Now, it is possible. If in 8 hours we're ripping down here and people are like, what the fuck is that? Well, I make money from these trades. I got buy limits sitting here. This thing came smashing down. This is actually not something I was in, but if you notice, this behaves just like the euro. They both got smashed. What's the difference is that if I was trading this thing, I'd be like, okay, we're going underwater, I know it. And I'm getting in more and more and more and more, and even in here I could have scalped, but maybe I don't have to take profits. Maybe I have greedy take profits. Well, if I had the most conservative entry where this first ticket is literally like losing, but I can survive it because I put in a what do I got, like a 18 pip stop on that. So when I get in here, buy, I'm laying these things in. I'll show you the video. Not now because I got to go watch my favorite show, but dude, it's amazing. Okay, now I've taken that count up to, it's not a real account, so I'm not taking out. Like, if that was a real account and I was at 4,800, I guarantee you, I would well, let's take out a gram. And I'd come back and I'd trade it like a little, like I'd baby it. Act like there's $500 in the account. That's not what I'm doing, okay? This is a probabilities. What's the probability of that trade working out? Pretty good. If you have a 1 pip target with a 100 pip stop, now it's not true because I have seen markets, and I watch these fuckers for 15 years straight now. I've seen a market not even do a half a pip bounce. It is just ripping. There is no fucking bounce. There's no bounce house. There's no truckers. There's nothing like that. There's nobody to run over with your horsey. There's none of that shit going on. So there is no fucking rule of this, but you do know here what you're risking when you drop these tickets up here. So I typically put buy limits and sell limits above and below. And the demo is my training ground for running the sell side, which obviously is as profitable if you put sell limits up here or just put them in some Fibonacci bullshit. But some of these are going to cash out. If you put a 5 pip target, like this is 1 pip. If you say you're going to sell up here and you're going to get out, it's called a scalp. If they pop it above this 3 hours ago, this kind of fractal that's not marked, we'd have to go to the 15-minute or the half hour to get that to pop out. And if you're just relying on that Williams fractal, then you got a problem. You should be able to look at any chart and find the tip of the bar or the tip of the wick if you like these. I'm not a big fan of the candles, but I like the bars because it just gives you quick and dirty analysis of just how you would have traded. Now, if you would have thought this was in a downtrend, and you would have once your indicator's caught up, right? And you take every fucking rally above, in a perfect world, adaptive moving average sort of thing. You're like, oh, I just buy here at the pullback top. You go about it. Now, maybe your targets weren't set to make this profit, but you had to figure that there were people that were selling on this top, this top, this top, this top. And if I was a seller, I would have taken that trade because I'd sell a 1K, and I'm not saying a one ticket. I'm saying I'm going 1X, 2X, 3X. When I get up here, I'm like, dude, we are so short on this bitch. Like when it top tick Tommy's this, and this is this big stairway to hell that's been ferociously retraced after coming below here where everybody's mind's blown. Like there's the first scalp before the plunge. In a 25 pip window, if you prepare for this trade by saying, it's a 1 hour chart, you know what? They could take out this low, and if they do, what the hell's going to happen? Like, you have to ask yourself, what do you think's going to happen if they come down here? Look, I put my orders in. So you can't say I didn't put my tickets in. Now, I don't know if these lasted for 2 days. They didn't. But if those lasted for 2 days, now if you're a person that doesn't want to babysit these markets, there's nothing that's going to change that trade. If you're going to trade price levels, is all I'm doing is trading price. The time is unknown to me. I don't know when they're going to crash this thing down here, but when they do, holy shit! If you buy a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're like, by here you want to be in about 5 standard lots. Now you can do that on this broker. Will let you put in $1 million position on one case. So I mean, it's pretty unbelievable. You would be out of that trade, cashed out in 1 hour going, well, what was that? Did you say? Oh, you got a moving average? You're waiting for your indicators to catch up? Oh, dude, I'm just trading all day long. I'm not going to care about that. I got sell limits above here, so buy limits below here. Buy limits below here. Now, these are the short-term ones. I want these to expire in like 8 hours, so I will do this trade. Well, let's set these up. And, of course, what I'm doing is, if I see them fill this rack and I'm like, holy shit, that ain't coming back. Like if it comes back to here, not all my targets, I'm not going to go grab a script that has the exact target, which is the rooftop of the previous, the breakout point, right, where the confirmation guys are going to get them to go the other way. I'm saying I have to be aware of the, and this, I guess, just, you got to be thinking ahead on this. If you start selling here, which is very conservative, like where the big vacuum, like the abyss begins. Sell, 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 and you just have to stand in front of the train, man. I don't know what to tell you. You got to have sell limits up here. You got to sell like put tickets 1 pip apart. And just lay a couple grids there. Just sit back. You're not going to make a lot of money. You're not going to blow up the account. You just see how it works. So I'm going to do these real fast. Now, in the video that I did, I was dropping them so fast, and I was trying to trade my own account at the same time, so I'm dropping them, and I couldn't even catch up. Like, I had the scale fixed like this, so when the market went off the chart, literally, I couldn't even pay attention. So because I was trading 2 currencies, it was nuts. So here's a trade I did today. So I just nicked the wick. See how these are very conservative scalps. See how my target's set up? Now, we only filled the first couple tickets on that. If I would have been more aggressive, I would have placed buy limits starting here, right? Buy. And when it went down, I buy more, and prepared to even buy more here. So here's where you have to have some, how you say, dry powder. Because when the shit hits the fan, of course, this is a huge window. This is 35 pips of just punishment, but we don't actually make it down to here. This one, now if you get in early here and you don't have a 100 pip stop on this one, you're stopped out of that trade. Another thing is you have to buy back the commission and the spread. And is it a swing trade? And I don't even know what your targets are, but this target should be a structural target. So if we come and do so if we say, well, let's put a buy limit in here. This is daily chart, by the way. Buy limit. Pretty big buy limit here, right? Big buy limit. Look at the fill here. Now this would be a set it and forget it scalp. It wicks down in here. It wicks down in here. Even this one's a great trade. Wicks and closes here. Now, I don't know if you would. This probably might have lasted a millisecond up there, but that is a 100 pip day, and all you're doing is buying new lows. See how that works? But no, most people won't do that because they don't want to stand in front of a train. They just can't do it. The reason why is because if they put a buy limit in here, and they're like, well, that didn't work out. They put a buy limit and they're like, what the fuck? Then they put a buy limit down here. Now here you did make back. So you're not going to make back. You got to also know when to pile into it. This is, I guess, is the part that's kind of you just have to trade, just keep trading, and then accept that you're in a scalp. Like you may have this target in your mind, but trust me, if you just made 80 pips in an hour in the euro, I'd probably get the fuck out. In fact, when I'm trading the news, like when I'm in the trade before the news comes out, and I'm like, oh shit, we're up, get out. Like, because the volatility is just too brutal. And unless you've ever traded a lot of news with that one broker, you don't even know if it might just take you 10 seconds, which would be, $150. The market's changed to $150 in 3 seconds. Because you're in so big on this trade that, but putting a sell limit up here for the scalp, high the previous day, down buy limit down here. You know what? I don't think you can get filled. See, it's so unrealistic. So what I do here is go buy limit, buy, and I think I could safely trading the daily here. All the analysis I need is give me a chart where I can place tickets on it. And I'm in. This is all my criteria. So here we're going to try to we're risking 10 pips to make 8 pips. Let's just get in here. Oh shit, this broker is going to go offline. Anyways, I got to watch my show. I'm addicted. I got to watch my show. So that's as far as I could get. Anyways, I probably just, you got to plan ahead. Later on, I'm gonna try to do a narration of this 8-hour video I did of dropping these things in real time and holding them for, I think it was a 4 or 8 hour swing and then dumping it, and that was my trade. And I actually dumped it on one of these rallies, and I thought that looks fake, so I dumped everything. It was probably in about 80K when I did that. So that was a perfect execution on demo screen there. Anyways, gotta go back to my show.